All right, well, welcome. Here we are with Coach Joe Scheuers from Earlham College, the head men's basketball coach. So we're just going to go over some quick information here, get people to know you and learn about young professionals within Wayne County. So first up, to someone that may not know you, give us a quick bio.
Yeah, so Joe Scheuers. I have a beautiful wife, Candace, and I have two daughters, Noelle and Summer. Originally, I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up about an hour south of Chicago. Was blessed to have a great environment full of basketball. Had a good basketball high school career. Went on and played college basketball at Greenville College for 2 years before I transferred to Trine University. Played there, and that's where I was able to get my first foot in the door and worked under Brooks Miller, who is still currently the head coach at Trine, and he's doing really good things with that program. And but from Trine, I then went on to Jacksonville, Illinois. I worked at Illinois College there for 2 years. That's where I actually met my wife, and she worked there as well. And helped get that program back to a winning record, and was really proud of what was able to be accomplished there, which then led me to my first stint at Earlham, and worked for Jason Polikoff. And we took over a tough situation, had very few guys on the roster in June when we got the job, but was able to build it up the right way. Got to the 6 to 8 wins and became competitive. And then from there, I put my name in the hat at Thomas College last year, and it was an awesome experience. Was named head coach there, and really nobody knew what to expect, but we had a bunch of freshmen, sophomores, and was able to do a lot in 1 year. So went to the conference championship, swept the #1 team in the conference in the regular season and in the semifinal. Was on ESPN, and was really just a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, and had everybody coming back. But then Earlham opened up again, and it was, this place is the best kept secret, and my goal is to not make it a secret anymore. So under the new leadership of Julie, our AD, it was a no-brainer when they asked me to come back to be the head coach.
All right, fantastic. I know they're happy to have you back. We are as well, back in Richmond. So who is your biggest role model growing up?
Yeah, I would say ones that come to my mind right away. I had a grandfather that played a big role. He really taught me what was right versus wrong, and then my high school coaching staff. They just showed me as much attention as I needed to, but they held me accountable, and I lived and died on what they said, and that's a big reason why I'm in this profession now.
So you played basketball in college, but how did you fall in love with the game? Because playing basketball, a lot of times that's just a sport.
Right.
It's just what you do. You're now turning this into a profession. So how did that switch from just playing basketball to transitioning into being a career?
Yeah, so where I grew up at, we didn't really have a football program, so basketball was it. So there was a great tradition before I got to high school. There was a great tradition when I was there, and really just going back to that coaching staff, my high school coaching staff, they provided an experience and an environment that you wanted to be a part of and make them proud. And I grew up in Illinois in the 90s, so the Chicago Bulls, every chance I got, you turn on WGN and watch the Bulls. So Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, those guys really opened the door and made me want to be where I'm at now.
Absolutely. So were you a Wizards fan for a year? Or?
I do got a Jordan Wizards uniform, so yes.
Every true fan does.
Yep.
So something we do with this series is we ask 10 quick questions or words, and then you answer whatever first thing that comes into your mind. So the first thing here, defense.
Force turnovers. Get points off our defense.
Importance of a positive attitude.
It's critical. You gotta really think about what your strengths are and not dwell on weaknesses or what you don't have.
Favorite professional athlete?
Michael Jordan.
So do you dunk your Oreos in milk or just eat them plain?
Only way to eat Oreos is with milk, dunking them.
Richmond, Indiana.
Second home.
Overcoming setbacks.
response, and opportunity.
Importance of proper preparation.
I think, don't quote me on this, but Ben Franklin, his famous quote, by failing to prepare, you prepare to fail, and I could not stress that enough.
Favorite TV show?
Anything history related, or my wife gets on me. I'll watch film all day, come home and watch anything basketball. So.
Favorite food?
A good steak or a good slice of pizza.
Is that from Chicago?
Giordano's, yes. Yep.
And the last one, victory.
One thing we always we talk about constantly is just the value, expect to win, and whether it's in your marriage or in your faith or in the classroom, if you expect to win, you gotta be consistent with it. So if you're not in it for the victory, what are we in it for?
Absolutely. So you were coaching here as an assistant coach. Then you took a position for a head coach in Maine. And then you got the call, had the interviews, everything went well. Here you are now as the 28th men's basketball coach at Earlham College. So what does Richmond, Earlham, Wayne County mean to you?
I mean, it's where I spent half my professional career. Like I said earlier, my job is to make Earlham and Richmond not a best kept secret anymore. Earlham's been good to us. Richmond's been good to us. We have a great church. We have great friends. There's good places to eat here. We're big on food, and it's really that's home away from home, especially being in this profession when you might have to pack up shop. So for the opportunity to come back to a place where we're really comfortable is ideal.
Absolutely. So you're the leader of a Division III men's basketball program. So you're developing leaders of tomorrow every single day. So take us into a day in life of how you do that. How do you transform individuals? Because when they come to Earlham, you're taking high school seniors just graduated. When they leave, they're leaving for adults, leaving as adults onto maybe jobs, things like that.
Yeah, so the best way to help them become better leaders and better people is to be the best example of what we preach. We gotta follow that too. So not only myself, but our coaching staff, we're always going to be holding people accountable and being disciplined in our lives, and we need to show that ourselves. So we can't, get on a kid and not represent that. So one, being the best example of that, but we're demanding as coaches, but I think one way to really, make that go full circle is let the kids see that you love them too. We're demanding and we ask a lot, but they're also going to know that we're going to give them everything we got, not materialistic things, but time, effort, know that their best interest in mind. And the main reason I'm in this profession is because of what coaches gave to me. So that's just a good system to have. Now, at the opposite end of the table, if you abuse that system, you're not going to create good people or help them become better people too. So just give them everything you got, but at the same time, stick to your principles and be that example of what they're looking for.
Absolutely. So there's 20 seconds left on the clock. Your team's down 1 point. You call a timeout, you come to the huddle. How do you remain calm in that aspect? The game's on the line. You don't have the chance to go out there and make the winning shot, but you're even more in charge of the situation on what's going to transform. How do you remain calm, help your team pull out the victory?
So going back to those quick questions, that preparation, hopefully before we even play one game this year, we'll be in that situation in practice at least 10 times. And hopefully they feel what it means to not succeed and also how it feels to accomplish that in practice. So we're down one and 20 seconds to go. If we're on the defensive end, our guys already got to know, we got to extend this 20 seconds and make it as long as 20 seconds possible. So we can do that in multiple ways. But if we're on the offensive end and we got 20 seconds, we're not going to wait for the last shot and all that kind of stuff. But by that time, we'll know who we should attack on the defensive end and what's working and what's not. So going into the huddle, the guys should have an idea, and then it's my job, because of the practice that we've been able to do that, just to remind them on, hey, this is what we got to look at, and these are our options. and then through practice, hopefully they can execute.
Absolutely. So last question here is, so we're talking to young professionals here. We're talking to all age groups overall with this video series. You have kids of your own also. So if you have a child, you have an individual who's maybe in middle school or just growing up, what are 3 key things that you would say that would be important for them to do to make it to collegiate athletics?
I would say one, this is not just the cheesy answers, no matter what, you can always benefit yourself by doing better in school. A lot of times people want to let off that senior year, and if you get a bad GPA, that can help you, that could hurt you, you know what I mean? So no matter what, stick to the grindstone when it comes to the academics, because whether it's D1, D2, D3, NAIA, the better academics you have or that better senior year you have, that can help you. 2, and I would even say I was guilty of this, be careful of how you compare yourself and who you're comparing yourself to. What I mean by that is you might be outworking the second best player in your team, but he don't work very hard, so it's not that big of a deal. Or you might be comparing yourself to, well, I average 13 points a game and he's only averaging 10, but he's getting all the college looks. It might be because of his attitude and what else he brings to the table, and he's coachable. And the third thing I would say is you never know who's watching. It could be a coach's friend, it could be a coach's college roommate. Hey, did you see this player post this on social media? So wherever you're at or whatever you're doing, you gotta act like someone's watching. So it comes down to that character piece and that. So just always know somebody's watching.
Absolutely good thoughts there. Well, thank you for coming out. Thank you for inviting us over to the tour of campus here. And then again, we'll see you next time on another edition of Together, where we learn about young professionals within Wayne County.